Today we're going to be converting between improper fractions and mixed numbers. But before we learn how to convert between those two things, we got to figure out what those things are. Hopefully this is a reminder. An improper fraction is a fraction when the numerator, so the top number, is greater than the denominator. A mixed number, think of a mixed number as a mix between a whole number and a fraction, because a mixed number is a whole number, but with a partial amount as a fraction. So you're literally going to see a whole number with a fraction right next to it. So first we will go from a mixed number into an improper fraction. We're going to do one example. Make sure you write out all the steps just as I have. So when you're looking back at your notes, it all makes sense where one thing came from, because it can get a little confusing. So example 1 says write 4 2/3 as an improper fraction. So we have a mixed number, we have a whole number 4 2/3 as a fraction. We want to write it as an improper fraction, which is just a fraction, no whole number, a fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator. So first thing we want to do here, first thing is we want to take our mixed number, we want to take the whole number from that, and we want to turn that into a fraction that's easy to combine with the fraction we have. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put two fraction bars, plus sign between them. We're going to keep the denominator exactly as it is. So 3 is the denominator. In the fraction, we're going to keep 3 as the fraction for each, or 3 is the denominator for each. Then we're going to take 4, and we are going to multiply 4 by the denominator, which is 3, to get our numerator for the first fraction we put in. Then, for the second fraction, we're just going to have 2. We're going to keep what the original numerator was for the fraction. From there, let's see, we have 12/3 plus 2/3. When we are adding fractions, we keep the denominator the same. And we have 12 plus 2. We add the numerators. We'll get 14/3 as a result. And you always want to make sure that you have this in lowest terms if possible. The calculator will get a little tricky when you try to put this in lowest terms, so I will save that for a little later on. So there we go. First one down. We figure out how to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Now we have to learn how to go from an improper fraction to a mixed number. So to go from an improper fraction to a mixed number, well, first let's see. We have 19/10. That's obviously an improper fraction. 19, the numerator, is greater than 10, the denominator. First thing we want to do is write down our fraction down below so we have a little more room to write with it. So let's see, 19/10. I'm going to put an equal sign because we are going to write this as a mixed number that's equal to this improper fraction. From here, I'm going to put 2 fraction bars. We're going to keep a denominator of 10. For the first numerator, so my first numerator, we have to do a little bit of thinking. We have to say, okay, how many times can the denominator fit completely into the numerator? In other words, we have to do 19 divided by 10. How many times can 19 go in, or can 10 go into 19? So 19 divided by 10 will give us 1.9. we are going to focus on the whole number only. So 1 is the whole number. I'm going to take the whole number and multiply it by the denominator that we had. So let's see, what's a good color? So 1 times 10 will give us 10. That tells me I can put 10 as my first numerator. Now remember, this is going to turn into the the whole number in our mixed number. But before we get to that, let's look at this. So we have 10 over 10, but I started with 19 over 10. So I got to think, okay, what else do I have to add in here so that this 10 plus this value equals my original numerator. 10 plus 9 will give me my original numerator of 19. What's nice about this is this second fraction here is going to stay as our fraction. So now the last thing to do is to figure out what our whole number is. Our whole number is 10 divided by 10, which is 1. So our mixed number would be 1 9/10. Okay. If we keep going, I'm going to show you a cool trick. Well, I'll show you in person, but I will give you the directions to a cool calculator trick. Here they are. Now this is when you're trying to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction. First thing you have to do is know how to type in a mixed number into the calculator. To type in a mixed number, I'll slide this up a little bit. You're going to type the whole number first, press the fraction button. Fraction button looks like this. After your fraction button, you just type in the numerator, which is the top number, press the fraction button again, and then type in your denominator. Press second, then press the fraction button again, and press enter. Go ahead, try it out on this mixed number here, same mixed number we started the video with. One more. So we know how to use the calculator to go from mixed number to improper fractions. Now to go from improper fractions to mixed numbers, it's even a little more simple. You're just going to type in the fraction, press enter. It's going to show you what might look weird at first, but just remember the number in front of the u is the whole number, and then it'll show you a fraction afterward. And again, I'd like you to try it on this improper fraction.